Welcome back to another episode of Insights with Vinnie Mac. My name is Vince, aka Vinnie Mac. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode, another insight. Today we're speaking about, you are closer than what you think. And I know out of personal experience, that topic really just relates to me because I'm in the process of rebuilding my life. And sometimes it feels like, nothing is happening and you're giving so much of yourself, but there's no growth, there's no development happening. And I read a Joel Osteen book recently, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the title of the book, but I remember the extract where he was speaking about, waking up early one morning while on vacation with his family and hitting a specific hiking trail. And he says he was like the only one on that trail because his family was still sleeping. And he decided he was going to hike up this hill or pathway or mountain. I'm not too sure exactly what it was. But as he was going up the hill, and it was like a winding path, and once you get around one bend, there's another bend waiting. And he says he was like starting to get tired, he was starting to grow tired, he was starting to become despondent. And he got to a point where he looked up the hill and he saw the path was just bending again in front, up ahead. And he was like at the point of really just saying, nah, it's not worth it, I'm going to turn around, I'm going to go back home. But just at that moment as well, just before he decided to quit, someone else was coming down the path and told him, you know what, you're much closer than what you think you are, and carried on walking. And he says just that small little bit of encouragement encouraged him to carry on with that pathway up the mountain. And when he got to the top of the hill, or the valley, the pathway that he was taking, he was so pleased that he didn't give up because the view was truly spectacular, worth the hike that he took. And that relates so much to me, to you, and to our walk and where we are going. Sometimes it feels like we're not making progress. It's like we're not getting anywhere in terms of our journey. But I want to encourage you today with this particular insight, and I hope that you watch it all the way through. But I just want to tell you that, you are closer than what you think. Before we dive into the insight, just want to remind you that if you're watching for the first time, or if you haven't yet, please by all means do subscribe to the channel. Like the content, drop me a feedback. I would love to hear from you. Alright, so let's dive into this particular topic and just see what it actually means when we say you're closer than what you think. Okay, so what does it mean when we say we're closer than we think, and why are we not getting to where we set out to get with our lives in terms of our journey? The Bible gives us a very beautiful answer with regards to that, and we really need to pay attention to that because you see, it says in the book of Proverbs that we perish through the lack of a vision. And that is our biggest challenge in terms of our journey, in terms of getting to where we want to get with our lives. You see, like Joel Osteen was saying, the path was like bending and curving. And that is how our journey in life is as well. Life is never a linear journey. We look at time in terms of linear, in terms of being a straight line. You get born, you grow older, you go through life and you die. And we see it as a straight line movement. But life itself is not a straight line movement. There's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be steps forward, there's going to be knockbacks in life. And that is just this journey that we call life. And most of us tend to think that life is a battle, but life is not a battle. Life is actually just a game. And if you understand the rules of the game, then obviously you can start to play to win. And that is what the 5% of the world actually figured out, or the 2% of the world figured out. That life has rules, and by playing by the rules of life, they can actually win and get ahead in life. Now, for most of us that are still figuring out the rules of the game, or on this path, or on this journey, there's still those that haven't even figured out yet that life is just a game. But anyway, that is beyond the context of this conversation. We fail to realize how close we actually are to the promised land, to our breakthroughs in life. We get distracted like the Israelites got distracted in the desert. For them it was too hot, there was no water, there was no food, yet God was supplying all of these needs according to His riches and glory. And they just didn't want to see it, they didn't want to acknowledge it. And when they got to the very point of the promised land, they again just kept on making excuses. These people are big, they're giants, they're going to destroy us, they're going to break us. And that's what happens when we get close to our breakthroughs. We start making all these excuses as to why we cannot get past the obstacles in our way. And we need to get to a point where we're either going to be focusing on these obstacles in our way, or we're going to focus on the fact that yes, it's uncomfortable, yes, it's going to require us to raise our level, But we see ourselves in the promised land. We see ourselves living in the land of milk and honey. And we need to shift the focus. But how do we do that? How do we get ourselves to shift the focus? How do we get to where we really want to be with our lives? And like I said, I mentioned it now just a few minutes back. In terms of the vision, you need to have that vision. You need to have an absolute clear vision for your life. And here's the thing though, in this age of information overload, everybody has a vision for their life. But here's the catch, most people that have visions for their lives, the vision is dark, it's murky, it's not transparent, they're not really clear on what it is that they want to achieve with their lives. They know that they need to have a vision for their lives, so people make mainly vague visions for their lives. There's no desire, there's no belief, there's no push through in terms of the vision. Okay, so I understood that, I'm experiencing so many setbacks in my life, and these setbacks are not affecting me. Why? Because I became very, very clear in terms of what my vision for my life is. I can see straight through all these challenges, straight through all these obstacles, and that is why I can continue walking my path with a smile on my face, with so much excitement. People say, why don't you get agitated by the knockbacks that you have in your life? Why you're not getting agitated by people going out of their way to derail your road? And I tell them, I'm very clear on where it is where I am with my life. I'm very clear in understanding where it is that I'm headed with my life. I can already experience and taste, smell, see, all the senses. I get them all involved in terms of the achievement of that vision, because I'm living in the promise already. I'm not moving towards the promise, I'm living in the promise. And that is what helps you understand how to get from where you are to where you want to be. It is putting yourself already in that situation where you are experiencing all the emotions, experiencing the joy, the excitement, the thrill of feeling that you have already achieved that which you set out to achieve with your life. If you start understanding how close you actually are to your breakthrough, then you will start moving with excitement, with joy. You won't worry about the fact that you don't have the finances, or that you don't have the education, or that there are people standing in your way, or this factor or that factor. None of them would matter. None of that would matter. You would be pushing yourself with so much vigor, with so much joy, with so much excitement to get to that level, to where you are, because you are closer than what you think. So stop looking at the limitations in front of you and start pushing towards the goal that lies before you. Now, if you don't know how to set up a vision for yourself, in the links in the comments, I'm dropping a link for a lady called Terri Savelle Foy. I really love the way she sets out the vision board course of hers. And unfortunately, you have to pay for the vision board course, because remember, if you want that life, if you really want it, you're going to have to make sacrifices. But I'm telling you, I invested in that course of hers as well, and I think it's a brilliant course. And I'm not promoting a course because I don't get paid for it, I don't get referrals for it, or referral commission for it rather. But you know what, this channel is all about adding value and helping people find their path and helping them grow. So check out the comments and see if that is something that is a fit for you, or find a mentor that can really help you in terms of setting a clear vision for your life. Because I'm telling you, that is the game changer. That is what is going to separate you from all the noise out there. And that is what's going to help you become absolutely clear in terms of where you are and where you want to be with your life. Alright, so I hope that you got value from this particular insight. I hope that you understand that you really are so much closer than what you think you are in terms of achieving your goal. And I would really love to hear your feedback, your thoughts. Like I said, if you haven't yet, please by all means do subscribe to the channel. Like the content, drop me your feedback. I would love to hear from you. I would love to engage with you. And every time you engage in my channel, you are helping me make my content available to a wider audience. And I'm trying to reach so much more people, providing them with insights from both a godly perspective as well as from a coaching perspective, to help them take their lives from where they are to where they are capable of being. That is my mission, that is my vision, that is my walk. So just every time you interact on my channel, thank you very much. You are helping me to get one step closer to achieving my goal, my mission. And I really do appreciate that. Okay. So like I said, I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I look forward to hearing your insights. For now, I'm going to wrap it up there. This is Vinnie Mac saying, change your thinking, change your world.